This is going to be a strategy guide on how to beat 3-4 in Puzzle City. Every level before this took me around 1 to 2 attempts at most, maybe 3, and this is in hard mode. But for whatever reason, this level took me over 2.5 hours to complete. It took me a while to figure out the best strategy to go about maximizing my chances of winning this specifically evil level, but I'm going to have the gameplay in the background while I show you my successful run and explain what my strategy was and how I finally completed this evil level. Alright, let's take a look. We're going to start off with a simple yellow 1x1 tile. The main difficulty, if you don't know, for completing this level is the 2x2 areas on the very left and right side of the screen. You have to basically, almost have to, fill a 2x2 area worth of only blue tiles, which you get very rarely. And along with everything else, it's just very hard to do. Now you'll see so far I've only had to just fill in the light blue tiles and the green tiles and the yellow tiles, so I haven't had to do much. But for the weird tiles, I'm just keeping them for now because I don't know if I'm going to do with them yet. They're very not helpful. You don't want to put them anywhere. You only have so much space that you can use at the bottom, and we're all going to see part of my first strategy coming up, and that's how I get 2 power-ups right off the bat using the double L method where they loop around each other. I usually always do that for the bottom right corner because if I get a bulldozer, which is another power-up, I can just bulldoze that 2x2 or both 2x2s out, and then I can leave room for even more power-ups because creating a 2x2 area with tiles will just give you a power-up. As you can see here, we have 4 hammers, which will delete all these down to 1x1 tiles. And then we have a color changer, which is very important. I get 2 bulldozers there, very helpful. I have the arrow, which goes back a bit. It's not very helpful. And we see I'm already going to start putting more L's in that bottom right location. And I've gotten rid of both my bulldozers because I only want power-ups. Meanwhile, I will continue to fill up the light blues and greens as I can. And here we are. I'm going to go for a color change so that I can shatter with the hammer. I'll get 1 more blue out of that, and then I can place in all of these light blues and such. Now I've completed the far left, I don't know what's called, lollipop? That's what I usually think of it as. And it's looking a bit desperate almost. I only have 1 recycle, but I do get another blue, which makes it helpful. But I have some red tiles, yellow tiles, purple tiles. They're really awkward shapes, and they won't fit on this very small map, so I'm going to have to shatter them. Just wait here. You can wait as long as you want just to see if you get an extra tile, because you want to be very efficient. Now I'm actually going to get a police department, which I can shatter, but I'm going to be very patient. But I decided to recycle it instead. That's actually very interesting. And I'm not going to get a better shape, just in case I got a 2x1. I don't believe you can get a 2x2 police department on this level. And we will get a dynamite. We will get 2 dynamites. Those are very important because they delete everything on your conveyor belt. And acts as like a reset button without having to completely restart the level like I did 100 billion times. Now we're going to get even more really good power-ups. One of the biggest problems is power-up RNG. A lot of times I would get the snail, which makes everything move slower for like a few seconds. It's very unhelpful. Also, you'll see here, I'm being very patient. You can be very patient before having to use a bomb. And just don't panic. Make sure that you're not wasting any time. 1 tile can make all the difference. But we're going to have a school campus set here. That's not very helpful. These are the type of tiles I'd like to throw out, but I can't. If you can, hammer them, get rid of your good colors, and then spray paint them. But I did not have that luxury. But we're getting very close. Lots of progress here, but unfortunately that also means we're running out of space. As we can see here, a lot of big tiles. I don't know how long these power-ups are going to be able to sustain me for. Without any bulldozers, it's very hard. I pretty much need a bulldoze for more space, or else I'm just going to have to rely on my power-ups until they're gone. So you can see here, I'm just waiting so that I can shatter everything at once. but I decided to bomb instead because the shatter wouldn't have been worth it. And that's something you get kind of the feel for when you've played this for 2 hours and more. There I finally get a spray paint. That is a game changer because now it's worthwhile to use the shatter. And that hammer will make everything a 1x1. I can finally get probably at least one blue tile to put in the very right side. But then I also have to focus on finalizing my light blue, light green, or just green, and then of course the yellows. I have 5 yellow tiles that I have to worry about, but I will get a police department here. That is very helpful. This is why I would want to shatter, then do the spray paint. But first I'm going to place in all the ones I want. But there, I could have placed the light blue in its natural spot, but I decided to go for it, and hopefully I could get the other one. Hopefully I could get the dark blue, and I did. Very helpful. And now I only need 2 dark blue tiles left. I have 4 yellow tiles, a green tile, and a light blue tile, but I'm really running out of space. It's very desperate, but I'm out of light blues. No longer need any shopping centers. Just need 4 factories and a residence and 2 police departments. I'm going to use the arrow here because I don't like the arrow. It's kind of useless. I get a little bit more space, but I'm going to have to use my bomb soon, and I'm really running out of power-ups here. I'm going to use a shatter, and now I'm pretty much out of space. I'm filling up everything here because there's nothing else I'm going to end up filling up that space with. It's kind of done. There I can't even get a 2x2, so it's almost not even worth placing. But as you can see here, only a few places left on the board that I can put anything. It's going to come down to luck. I do have a shatter. That means I am completely full on the yellow tiles, as long as I don't bomb them. And I get a police department. So, don't panic. Place down the factories that I need. And now, I can use my 1 remaining bomb to hope I get lucky with 1 more blue tile. Place in the last of everything else, and now there's only 1 tile space left on the entire board. After the bomb, I will have no more power-ups, and I'm sorry, as I just pointed out, I do need a 1x1 green still. That is going to be important, and without the ability to get any more power-ups, it's going to be luck-based. I need a 1x1 green and a 1x1 blue. Everything up to this point has been about minimizing the luck factor and making it so that I only need just a little bit left, but look at that. I get a 1x1 residence. Very lucky. And I get 2 recycles because of that, which is extremely important. Now, I just need to recycle this for the win. If I get a 1x1, I will win. I don't get it there. I get a 2x1. And... Yes! Yes! It is a very difficult level. A lot of it has to do with luck, but as long as you use your power-ups wisely and plan for it and play the level for 2 hours, you can analyze my strategy and see kind of how I played it out. The biggest important thing, because I went pretty fast, that I would try to do is save the bottom right area as a 2x2 farm. If you can, always try to bulldoze it if you have bulldozes, and just try to make 2x2s with whatever you can. I usually use yellows because I think there's a 1x1 yellow sticking out of it. It works out pretty well, and then the rest I just use whenever I have shatters to just put 1x1s and fill them in, because you're not really going to get anything out of it. There's not enough space. Unless you get really lucky on the far left side, you can do that too, but I just stick to the right side, and it worked. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you, and don't be afraid to really grind this level if you're actually trying. If you have never played this game, I strongly recommend it. It's a very fun casual game until you get to 3-4. And if you like a challenge, then this is certainly the level for you. The game itself is still pretty enjoyable, even if you aren't being super competitive every single level, but this level really helped strengthen my strategy and strategical findings of how to complete levels after this. So I thought this level was very helpful, and it was a very big surprise. Also, the level after this I definitely completed in 1 try. So very unbalanced, but that's how old games are. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.